As chair of the commission, I call this meeting of the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission to order at 5:05 p.m. This webinar is being live streamed on YouTube. For anyone in the public watching who would prefer to watch via a different platform than they're currently using, please visit our social media at Redistricting Michigan to find the link for viewing on YouTube. Our live stream today includes closed captioning. Closed captioning, ASL interpretation, Spanish, Arabic, and Bengali translation services will be provided for effective participation in this meeting. Email us at redistricting@michigan.gov for additional viewing options or details on accessing language translation services for this meeting. People with disabilities needing other specific accommodations should also contact redistricting@michigan.gov. This meeting is being recorded and will be available at www.michigan.gov/MICRC for viewing at a later date. This meeting is also being transcribed, and those closed caption transcripts will be made available and posted on michigan.gov/MICRC, along with written public comment submissions. There is also a public comment portal that may be accessed by visiting michigan.gov/MICRC. This portal can be utilized to post maps and comments, which can be viewed by both the commission and the public. At this time, for the purposes of public record, I will turn to the Michigan Department of State staff for roll call.
Good evening, commissioners. Please say present when I call your name. If you're attending the meeting remotely, please disclose your physical location and state that you are attending remotely. I will start with Doug Clark.
Present.
Juanita Curry. Just one moment, Commissioner Curry. Juanita, it seems like we're having phone issues with your phone. Let me try to unmute you just a moment. Can you try saying present again and let us know where you're at?
Present.
And what's your physical location?
Attending remotely from Detroit, Michigan.
Thank you. Anthony Eade.
Present.
Brittany Kellum.
Present.
Rhonda Lang.
Present, attending remotely from Reed City, Michigan.
Steve Lett.
Present.
Cynthia Orton.
Present.
MC Routhorn.
Present.
Rebecca Satella. Present. Janice Follett. Present. Aaron Wagner. Richard Weiss. Present. Dustin Witches.
Present.
12 commissioners are present and there is a quorum.
Thank you, Michigan Department of State, Sarah Reinhardt, and thank you, commissioners. At this time, I'm going to give the floor to the Dean of Ferris State University, who's going to come to us with opening remarks and a warm welcome, I'm sure. So it's not necessarily public comment, but you can step to the microphone. I don't know if you can take the mic off of the stand so you don't feel so formal, whatever you're comfortable with.
Thank you so much. This okay? Everybody can hear me? All right. So my name is Randy Cagle, and I am proud, recently appointed Dean of the College of Arts, Sciences, and Education here at Ferris State University. And on behalf of the university, and specifically on behalf of academic affairs, I'd like to welcome you to our beautiful campus. Whether you're here in body or in spirit, remotely, you are welcome here. As new to Ferris State and to Michigan, I've been a Michigander for about 2 months now. I'm delighted that Ferris is hosting this event at a pivotal time in Michigan history. The people of Michigan's momentous decision in 2018 to pass Proposal 2, which initiated the noble work that is to culminate later this year, will no doubt impact the 2022 elections and by extension, the national political landscape. The work of the Commission's charge requires open and free change of ideas, and our college and university campuses should continue as beacons of such exchange. The dialogue here this evening is ultimately in service of an always improving Michigan. In hosting this event, FSU thus contributes to the ideals of its founder, former Michigan Governor and U.S. Senator from Michigan Woodbridge, Nathan Ferris, who never wavered in his belief in the perfectibility of the people and their institutions. I'd like to take a brief moment to thank and acknowledge all those who make tonight possible. A few names I'd like to just quickly call out. Ferris Professor David Taki, Shayna Boysiegel, and the entire University Center staff, FSU Public Safety, Chase Creative, Edwards Woods, and the staff, the commissioners, Ellen Werman with the Campus Elections and Engagement Project, students, community members, to all those of you who are here. And if you are here tonight and you are traveling home, please do so safely. Once again, on behalf of the university and the College of Arts, Sciences, and Education, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dean Cagle, for that wonderful welcome and introduction to the university. We are very grateful to be here, and I'm sure we couldn't have done it without your presence, so we appreciate you. At this time, commissioners, we are moving on to the adoption of the agenda. As a reminder to the public watching, you can view the agenda at www.michigan.gov/MICRC. I would now entertain a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Witches. Is there a second? Second made by Commissioner Lett. Is there any discussion or debate on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor. Oh, I am so sorry. Commissioner Lang.
I don't have a copy of that agenda.
Let's see. Hold on, Commissioner Lang. It should have been received in an email. Vice Chair Zatella sent you the agenda. Do you see it? Or just let us know when you see it. And it's attached to the email that was sent.
Commissioner Lang,
It's also been put in the chat for you, Commissioner Lang.
I just
Okay.
posted the link to it in the chat for you.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm good. Carry on.
Okay. All in favor of adopting the agenda, please raise your hand and say aye. Aye. All opposed, raise your hand and say nay. The ayes have it, and the agenda has been adopted. Without objection, we'll now begin the public comment pertaining to agenda topics portion of our meeting. Hearing no objection, we'll now proceed with public comment pertaining to agenda topics. Individuals who have signed up and indicated they would like to provide in-person public commentary to the commission will now be allowed to do so. Please step to the nearest microphone when you hear your number called. You will have 2 minutes to address the commission, and please do conclude your remarks after at the end of your 2 minutes, and when you hear the timer. There'll also be a visual representation of a timer to help you keep track while you're speaking. The public comment is number 1.
Good evening. My name is Betsy Ann Goulet Moskowitz. I live in Remus, Michigan. And I'd like to make a comment regarding to encourage that these district lines are drawn fairly so that every single vote has equal weight, equal potency, equal power as any other vote. It is egregious to dilute votes by shoving certain ethnicities or people of color in districts that dilute their vote. In chemistry, you have an equation and you have every single compound in the equation has to be equally represented so you know what kind of yield you're going to have in that chemical equation. And the same thing here, you can't have a fair election when, like any football coach or basketball coach would tell you, if you can move the goalposts, that it's really easy if you write your own rules to win a game. And this has been done by one political party have built-in election advantages, and that is not a democratic republic. The biggest thing we have to make us a democracy is the vote. And as the wonderful John Lewis said, the vote is precious. It is almost sacred. It is the most powerful, nonviolent tool we have in a democracy. And we have, we have to depend on every person having the right. That's the day we all have the equal power when we vote. And we must not allow bias to get in the way. We have to undo the gerrymandering of 2010. That was egregious. And we're still suffering from that. And there are many places in the country where one political party gets more votes, but repeatedly has fewer representatives. And in the case of the US Senate, it's 50-50, but it isn't. 50%, the Democrats represent 40 million more people. We need to have representation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for taking the time to address the commission. We appreciate you providing public comment. Michigan Department of State staff, as for clarification, I have that we just have one in-person public comment, but I just wanted to, okay, thank you. At this time, individuals who have signed up and indicated they would like to provide live remote public commentary to the commission will now be allowed to do so. If you are on a computer, you will be prompted by the Zoom app to unmute your microphone and speak. If you are on the phone, a voice will say that the host would like you to speak and prompt you to press *6 to unmute. Michigan Department of State staff will call on you by your name. And note that if you experience technical or audio issues and we do not hear from you for about 3 to 5 seconds, we will move on to the next person in line and then return to you after they are done speaking. If your audio still does not work, you can email redistricting@michigan.gov and we will help you troubleshoot so you can participate during the next public comment period at a later hearing or meeting. If you have signed up to speak twice during our live remote public commentary, you will speak after all of our speakers all speakers that have elected to speak for the first time, you will speak after that. You have 2 minutes to address the commission. Please conclude your remarks when you hear the timer. Michigan Department of State staff, I yield to you to facilitate our live remote public commentary.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First in line to provide remote public comment is Kate Borninski. Please allow us a moment to unmute you.
Can you see me? Oh, there I am. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to comment today, and thank you for all of your hard work. My name is Kate Borninski, and I am an elected trustee on the Canton Township Board of Trustees here in Wayne County. I am speaking to you today, however, as a resident of the Metro Detroit area. As you know, depending on which counties you include, the population of the Detroit metropolitan area has as much as 1/3 to 1/2 the population of the state of Michigan, which means we have very high population density here. In addition to our high population density, we have an area that is very rich with diversity and many communities of interest, which may make your work here more difficult than in some other areas of the state. My ask is this, to please spend an equitable amount of time when mapping the Metro Detroit area as you do other areas of Michigan. This does not mean spending the same amount of time, but rather taking the amount of time that all the complexities of our region deserve here in Metro Detroit. This area is most likely going to be the most time-consuming region of the redistricting process, and I am hopeful that you will spend as much time as needed to ensure that you draw our districts in Metro Detroit and Wayne County fairly, equitably, and responsibly. I would also like to encourage the continued creation of competitive districts as elected officials are more responsive in these districts, and they also improve partisan fairness. In addition, they would go far towards undoing the historical gerrymandering of Metro Detroit, which relied on packing communities of color into a smaller number of districts. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kate, for taking the time to address the commission.
Next in line for remote public comment is Willie DeChavez. Please allow us a moment to unmute you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon, honorable commissioners.
Good
My-
afternoon.
My name is Willie De Chavez. I'm the president of API Vote Michigan, and I am a former Detroit public school educator. And I've been working in the community for the past 35 years as a volunteer. I have seen so many growths in diversity in the metropolitan Detroit. I would request, therefore, the commissioners to please do not rush through making maps of Metro Detroit. It needs more time. We need more time. Because of unique groups, we need to pay attention. That's why we are doing this. Kindly do your due diligence for this consideration because of the complexity of diverse communities. We need to ensure they are represented. Thank you and good evening to all.
Thank you so much, Willie, for taking the time to address the commission.
Next in line for remote public comment is Andrea Hunter. Please allow us a moment to unmute you.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrea Hunter, and I am the president of the Detroit Downriver Hayfield Randolph Institute. I'm also the president of United Steelworkers Local 1299. I'm a Wayne County resident for 53 years. I work vastly in community since I was a little girl in my community. I want to employ the commission to please take more time when it comes to mapping out the Metro Detroit area. I have been involved in this process from beginning, participating at different town halls and meetings. And one thing I understand and truly appreciate the diligence I see in the northern Michigan areas and the time given to the northern Michigan areas. I want to implore you to give that same time or more to the Metro Detroit area. As taxpaying citizens and people who strongly supported Proposal P, we feel that it is only fair and equitable that we have time to really search and implore you to look in our diversity of our communities and the need to understand our communities. We would have to understand that this is a 10-year commitment, whatever you decide. And we want you to understand that is our great concern, because in the past, Wayne County and Metro Detroit has not been treated fairly. We've pushed for Proposal P to make sure that would happen. We want you to understand that all the density of all the vast community is only if an equitable interest if time is adequately given to do so. I thank you for listening to me out. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Andrea, for taking the time to address the commission.
Next in line for remote public comment is a Mr. James Gallant. Please allow us a moment to unmute you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Mr. Gallant.
Hi, James Gallant, Marquette County Suicide Prevention Coalition. These are my opinions. And I would ask you to please take the steps necessary to make sure that a Republican gets to be the chair here. And I've seen some comments on your portal about that, and I've been bringing that up. And as I was stating, I'm sure you got my email because I'm working with the legislative council administrator, who is the one that is supposed to be administering this commission. This is a legislative council of the legislative branch of government. So she's required on her job description to be the supervise the administrative staff for this commission. And so we're working together. We're trying to get a special meeting of the legislative council to go over this and get with these the rules of procedure, because as I was saying, the House Fiscal Agency says, quote, the amendment would merely change the method by which commissioners would be chosen and add unaffiliated voters to the albeit inactive commission described in the Constitution currently. That was the Commission on Legislative Apportionment. So that's where this was supposed to start. That's what I was saying right at the beginning of this, when we first started this conversation, to codify the rules from before. And then you start from there. And you never did. You started with Commissioner Lett's version of what he thought. I mean, it may be his working knowledge, but, you know, like I said, there's real people, there's smart people, and there's real smart people. So we don't really know his working knowledge and where he learned that from. Somebody maybe just didn't know what they were talking about to begin with, you know, gave him bad advice. So you should start over. And I would ask you to vote to ask the legislative council to look into this, have a public hearing, and then we can decide what the Constitution meant when it said that the Secretary of State provides technical services, not administrative services, technical services. And that would be for the random selection process. And
Your allotted time has passed. Thank you so much for addressing the commission.
Next in line to provide remote public comment is Brenda Samagustin. Please allow us a moment to unmute you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Brenda San Agustin. I am a member of the APIA vote and currently the president of the US Pinoy for Good Governance. I'm a registered nurse serving the Metro Detroit area for the last 35 years. And I have seen how the demographic of these areas have changed. There had been a tumultuous impact of the changes of the residents or the nationality or the ethnicity of this group. So I am asking, it is my privilege to address the commissioners. Thank you for your relentless effort and for your unyielding dedication in doing this. However, I would like to ask your indulgence in looking into and spending more time when you are looking into the Metro Detroit mapping. It is a very complex area. We ourselves, as residents of these communities, is having difficulty in coming together and see what is our interest. So we are asking you to please allot more time and see that our needs are met, not only for the politician, not only for the chosen few, but we are hoping that everybody will be well represented and our voices be heard. Thank you very much. Again, my privilege to be with you.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for taking the time to address the commission.
Next in line to provide remote public comment is Spencer Calhoun. Please allow us a moment to unmute you.
I apologize. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, and thank you for letting us have an opportunity to speak. I understand that we are on a tight schedule with the lines that need to be drawn. We're already a few days behind the initial schedule, but we have to remember that this is the first time that we've ever done anything like this. And we can't shirk down on the responsibilities that we have. This is a huge responsibility to draw fair and equitable lines for our state. And instead of focusing so much on getting things done quickly, the focus really needs to be on doing this right. It's been brought up a number of times, but the commission has it's given much less time, 1 day, just to give attention to Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties. That's almost half of the population of our state, and it's only 1 day, and it just doesn't seem right. Other parts of the state have gotten quite a bit of time to make sure that they were done right, and that is fantastic. And so what I'm asking is that the commission would take some more time to make sure that these big metropolitan areas are drawn correctly, because this is going to impact us for quite some time. As a community, we really would appreciate that. And we appreciate the work that you're doing and the time commitment you've put up. But we ask that you give more time to the metropolitan area.
Thank you so much, Spencer, for taking the time to address the commission.
Next in line is Judy Micah. Please allow us a moment to unmute you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Judy, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. My name is Judy Mega. I live on Groseal, which is part of an area of Southeast Michigan referred to as Downriver. As a community of interest, Downriver has traditionally shared not only recreation, schools, churches, and community events, but also police and emergency support through the Downriver Mutual Aid Agreement that pairs local police, SWAT, hazardous spill responses, and other emergency services among communities for over 40 years. We share the waterfront and access to boating, kayaking, local rowing teams, and share concerns about the development of the waterfront, specifically the development of the former McLouth Steel toxic polluted site, which is currently being cleaned up, but whose future may bring more undesirable heavy industry to the area. The community commonly referred to Downriver has been described. I believe that there was talk today about how it should be divided up. So I'm sure that you're well aware with the 15 or 20 individual cities that are contained in that area of Downriver. Geographic proximity is, as well as the history of the community and support and shared interests and concerns make us a community of interest. We dine, work, and travel between our local communities on a daily basis. We live on Groseal, we own a business in Lincoln Park, and we dine frequently in many of the Downriver communities. I appreciate any efforts to keep Downriver together as a community of interest. There was talk yesterday of including Monroe. Monroe is 20 minutes south of us and nothing in common with Downriver, frankly, other than a drive. They have a big farming industry down there, and we don't share a lot of the same interests or community concerns. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for taking the time to address the commission.
Next in line is Oscar Renat. Please allow us a moment to unmute you.
Hello and good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Hello. I would like to thank the Commission for your efforts in taking and redistricting in our state. My name is Oscar Renat, and I've been a resident of Oakland County for over 22 years, currently residing in Oak Park. I am the founder and the president of Unity Fund in Michigan, which is a bipartisan organization with efforts to aid local and statewide LGBTQ candidates to get elected to public offices. As a side note, with approximately 5 to 6% of population, LGBTQ holds under 0.0% of elected official positions nationwide, making our community one of the least represented in politics. Southeast Oakland County, without a doubt, is an LGBT community of interest, as it holds the largest number of LGBTQ residents in our state. It is home for many openly LGBTQ elected officials in Southfield, in Ferndale, in Pleasant Ridge, in Hazel Park, and in Huntington Woods. Many cities in this area are governed by LGBTQ and LGBTQ-friendly elected officials, creating a sanctuary for our community by introducing pro-LGBTQ resolutions and ordinances. This area is home for many openly LGBTQ business owners, accommodating the LGBTQ customer base, and also the area is home for many LGBTQ community organizations that provide vital resources for our community statewide, including youth and seniors. We hope that you will consider our plea, because our community believes that Southfield, Oak Park, Huntington Woods, Pleasant Ridge, Ferndale, Hazel Park should be united as communities of interest in the state Senate district. By having our community of interest in one senatorial district ensures that our representation, because we hope to vote for LGBT candidates in the future, as we desire to have a fair representation in the state. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you for addressing the commission.
Next in line for remote public comment is Anthony Scannell. Please allow us a moment to unmute you. Anthony, it looks like we may be experiencing some, never mind. If you can hear me, please unmute yourself.
Hi, thank you, Commission. Yeah, I'll just thank you for your work. Good afternoon, because anything you guys do will probably be better than what we've got right now. But yeah, I'm from downriver, and I just wanted to say earlier when you were drawing number 19, I really didn't think it was a good idea to put Taylor with Dearborn up there. I think in parts of Detroit, I think Taylor should go with downriver. And, you know, I know that might make the district too populated. So maybe, I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea, but if you had to, I think Rouge and Ecorse could go with Southwest Detroit. I don't know. But yeah, that's just my thoughts, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to address the commission.
Next in line for remote public comment is Christopher Evelith. Please allow us a moment to unmute you.
Hi, thank you very much. My name is Chris Eveleth, and I am mayor of the city of Owasso, nonpartisan, and I am calling to offer my observations about the proposed Senate map. Shiawassee has always been aligned with other parts of rural mid-Michigan in Senate representation and not with an urban area. Shiawassee has also served as the unified primary population base for a House seat for several decades in combination with surrounding rural townships in a neighboring county. Shiawassee County is a rural agricultural community which has little in common with a larger city. Lansing and East Lansing, however, have much more in common. One of the commissioners made the offhand comment describing East Lansing as a bunch of students, so therefore no problem to assign with rural mid-Michigan. The work you are doing is far too important for such oversimplified characterizations of what we know to be a vibrant, dynamic community. East Lansing should logically remain with Lansing in Ingham County for the purpose of Senate representation. I was also disappointed that one commissioner saw fit yesterday to try and diminish the relevance of public testimony from my area, who expressed concerns at the flawed map by insinuating that it was contrived in some way. As I said earlier in written testimony, Shiawassee has been and remains part of a rural agricultural mid-Michigan. Combining Owasso with East Lansing simply makes no sense. Several commissioners have offered guidance and personal knowledge of the rural small town area here, and I believe my constituents would be best served if their words were heeded. Thank you very much.
Thank you for addressing the commission.
Next in line is George Ayub. Please allow us a moment to unmute you.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Okay. This is George Ayub. I'm in Clinton County, a resident of Clinton County. My wife and I have both signed up, so I'm going to take the first minute and she'll take the second. We are calling in regard to draft map for Senate District 32. My concern is that Clinton County is a rural agricultural area.
Mr. Ayub?
Yes.
I apologize for interrupting. I'll give you your time back. I see that you and your wife did both sign up. So if you would both like 2 full minutes, you're welcome to it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, shall I go on?
Yes, please continue.
Okay, so Clinton County is a rural agricultural area, and placing Clinton County with East Lansing, which is urban, is not a community of interest in our minds. Totally different interests as far as needs and desires for representation. So I'm just stating that. I would like to put my wife on now so that she can continue.
Thank you for addressing the commission.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Ayub. I'm also and I'm a resident of Clinton County, and I also have some concerns about the proposed Senate District 32. My concerns are twofold. I believe that when when Clinton County is partnered with some urban area, individuals really will, in essence, not be represented. For every rural resident who has need X, there's going to be an urban resident in that same district who has, let's say, need Y. Urban residents and rural residents would not be united in need or interest. There would be potential infighting within that one district. That would not be a community of interest. Secondly, I think we need to look at the person, the senator, who would represent this proposed area. If we align a very rural with an urban area, we're setting this potential senator up for failure, because how could a senator represent in front of the entire state a district that is not united, a district that has, 50% of this need and 50% of that? I think that would essentially lead to perhaps 50% of the residents of this Senate district not having any representation. And I think that is an antithesis of how our country was founded. So I'm asking if you would please align Clinton County with another rural area so that we can have a united voice and make our needs known, while people in urban areas can make their needs known. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George and Elizabeth, for taking the time to address the commission.
That concludes our first round of remote public comment.
Thank you. Individuals who have signed up and indicated they would like to provide live remote public commentary to the commission for a second time will now be allowed to do so. We will use the same process as the first round. First in line to provide a live remote public commentary is Mr. James Gallant.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, thank you. James Gallant, Marquette County Suicide Prevention Coalition. These are my opinions. As we were talking about the chair being a Republican, your 6 months, it was agreed that you was going to every 6 months is going to revisit the chair position. And now that I've asked Madam Chair to verify whether you got my documents that I sent to the commission that I got from the state archives about those are the codified rules of procedure for this commission. It was determined that this is just a revived commission that we already had, changed the name. This is not brand new. And in that, it already says you have to have co-chairs. So now that you added the unaffiliated, that we should have tri-chairs, and they change every day. It's already in the rules. It was very close to what you're doing right now. but it is also, it says Robert's Rules of Order, with the exception that any motion doesn't need a second. So Commissioner Zatella, see, she got shot down because there was no second to her motion. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about your bad luck. But the rules of procedure, point of order, you could just bring that up about the codified rules, and that is, you get a vote. They don't get to shut you down. You make a motion, get the vote. That's it. Make a vote. And so I'd ask you to please consider that the Constitution only allows the Secretary of State to provide those technical services. And that it also says in the Constitution that you shall hire nonpartisan staff, including attorneys. Now, Commissioner Lett made it very clear. He said, no, these people have to be partisan. That's experience. That's how we're going to get the right people. But Dr. Nancy Wang wrote this amendment specifically for this purpose. Sorry about your bad luck, but you don't get to have a partisan in the Constitution. It says nonpartisan staff and including attorneys. So I think it's inappropriate that this partisan, your litigation attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Gallant, for providing a public comment. That concludes our public comment this afternoon. However, I would like to mention that all emailed and mailed public comment is provided to the commission before each meeting, and commissioners also review the public comment portal on our www.michigan.gov/MICRC website on a regular basis. Some of us probably check public comment too much, but I don't think it could ever be too much. So we appreciate everyone who provides public comment in whatever way you choose, and we invite you to keep sharing your thoughts, communities of interest, and maps. Next, I'd like to move to unfinished business, agenda item 5A. Without objection, we'll continue the draft mapping of state Senate districts in Saginaw and Genesee counties, as well as Metro Detroit area. I believe that we ended with Commissioner Clark, and that means Commissioner Eid, it would be your turn to instruct the line drawers.
I believe Commissioner Curry is now present.
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. So Commissioner Curry, it's your turn. I can't hear you, but I can read your lips.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, there's a delay, but we can hear you.
It's very faint as well, Commissioner Curry. If you could speak closer to your phone, I think that would help.
And then make sure your phone volume is all the way up, if you can.
Okay, we're doing the Detroit area, and can you make that a little bit larger, the word?
Can you, Commissioner, can you read it now?
It's good if you could turn it up just a little bit larger. It's still very small for me.
I don't know that I can make the text larger at this point. Yeah, in the counties.
Commissioner Curry, is there a certain area, like if you call out the city or a street or something, so that we can have a starting point?
Well, we're going to start near the Detroit area where River Rouge, E4, and the southwest part of Detroit. Let me see if I can find what I said. I can't see.
This is right where I'm pointing is River Rouge Township. This is Melvindale. That's Del Rey right here.
All right, Del Rey is. Okay, we need how many people in this area that I'm trying to choose? We need what the district.
The Senate District Ideal target number is 265,193 people.
Okay, I see it. Okay, thank you.
It's a lot of people.
All right. A whole lot. I just can't read this map. Can I go get my glasses, please? See if I can find some.
Absolutely, Commissioner Curry. We want you to comfortably be able to see. Yes.
Thank you. Hold on. A little bit better. Okay. Okay, we have River Rouge here. I don't like Delray because Delray is, everybody's just about gone out of Delray. Let me see. Can you go up some more? Can you bring it in some so I can just see what the map looks like? All right, 63. Can you bring it in some, please?
You want me to zoom in on a particular area?
I want you to bring it in so I can see more of the map.
You want to see more of the map or less?
More. Okay, that's a little better. Okay. Okay, let's start with okay, if we start at the bottom down here with E4, River Rouge, Detroit.
Okay, so I'm going to highlight an area and you tell me if this is where what you're speaking of.
Speaking of E4, River Rouge,
Okay.
Detroit. Delray has a, do they have a number of population in it?
That census block that is highlighted or precinct that's highlighted right here has 596 people in it.
Yeah,
This has,
it's just about empty. Yeah, it's just about empty. They're rebuilding over there though. Okay, you can bring it back in a little bit so I can see how this map is looking. Okay, my color is what, purple?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you put E-course with that?
This area here or south? I'm sorry. E-course, I'm sorry.
Okay. Make sure you keep the numbers with it, okay? E-course has 9,000.
9,305.
Okay, Detroit has 63. Okay, give me also River Rouge.
River Rouge is in 15 now.
He has it selected.
E-course, River Rouge.
Okay,
And then
Detroit. And you know what's happening? Move up some. Go past, yeah. Okay. Do Detroit. Now, it's kind of strange because Collins Park, and traffic is very near across the street light to Detroit. And so it's like Lincoln Park, Allen
Lincoln.
Pike, and Melvin.
Commissioner Curry, you have some hands. I know you don't like to be interrupted in the middle of your thought. So do you want to finish your thought first? And then I have two hands in the room.
I would like to finish it, because this is not the final what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to see what it looks like together and how much population.
Okay.
So include Lincoln Park?
Include Lincoln Park. I'm trying to see what it looks like first. And include Melvindale. Okay, and then all of Detroit. What do I have?
I think she came, but I'll ask her. Commissioner Curry, do you see that there's already been a district outlined where you're filling in, that there was a blue area? Just as a clarification point.
Okay, I'm just seeing the blue area now. I did not see it before.
Okay, yes, because what you selected, what you've assigned is over the blue area. So that's why I asked you.
Okay, I didn't see it. Okay, I do see Lincoln Park, so that's not in the blue area. Okay, so.
It was in the, excuse me, Commissioner Carey, Lincoln Park, E-course were in District 17 prior to you putting them in
Are you
15.
saying I can't change it? You're saying not to change it?
You can change.
My map, or am I doing something trendy?
No, you can change it. We just had a lengthy discussion prior to about, communities of interest and just keeping in mind the population, Latino population in Delray and the things that we discussed earlier. But it's totally up to you. It's your turn. Just like Commissioner E will have a turn after you.
Okay, because I live right out here. I know what's out here. And Delray has nobody hardly in. Okay, let's go up. That's Detroit.
Are you saying the gold lines are voting precincts? Are you saying to assign the area heading to Detroit, this area?
I really don't. Is this part of Detroit right here? That's right next to River Rouge and Melvindale?
Yes. Yes.
And is that part of Detroit?
I can highlight the Detroit Township boundaries if you would like.
Would you please?
That is all of the Detroit Township. And it has 639,111 people, which works out in the vicinity of well over 2 districts, closer to 2.5 Senate districts.
My head on this total population. And this is, what are we making here with Detroit? Is that going to be 14 or is that 19? I know it's not 19, I know it's not 15, but what is it? Are we on number 16 for the district?
You're working on District 15, which is in purple, where my cursor is.
Okay.
That is.
Okay, well, how come it went yellow on me? If I'm working at 15.
I think he was highlighting the area that you were working in.
I was working in the purple. Okay, and then Detroit should be with it. It should be purple, shouldn't it?
Yes, ma'am. The Detroit Township is highlighted in yellow. It holds 600. You want me to assign that to 15?
Okay, okay. We have to have a total of 265,000 population.
Yes, Commissioner Curry. Yes.
Okay, so, and we're only at 60. We're not there yet, right? Now, if you all don't like this, y'all can change it, but I'm trying to see the way that I would probably put it. Okay, so let's do purple for Detroit. You got jewelry in there, but
Are you wanting Kent to fill in all the other spaces, or just leave it as it is?
I wanted him to finish filling in the spaces.
Vice Chair Zatella, and then Commissioner Clark, please.
So Juanita, when he's using that select box, it shows up as yellow. So that's what he's asking you if you want to assign. When he puts that select box out, it's going to show the area he selected as yellow. And he wants to know if you want to put it in the purple. That's what he's asking. I think that's where the misunderstanding.
I thought it could have been in the purple, yes.
Yeah, so you want that yellow area made purple.
See,
Is that right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Commissioner Clark, do you still have a question?
I do. I completely disagree with what you've done in the southern part. And that used to be in districts is 17 in the light blue. Because we've deleted population from them. And now we've got to make it up for 17. And yeah, but that's a whole redo of everything we've done. So we need to keep that in mind that once we finish with the district that you're working on, we've got to go make up the numbers for 17 to make that whole. Because, yeah. So, I mean,
I'm just trying to see you all.
I'm not that familiar with this area of the state.
I'm very familiar with it. I'm familiar so much with it that I know that Lincoln Park is pretty mixed now.
Okay, I appreciate that.
I
Yeah.
know that Nelsondale is getting very mixed.
Okay. I just wanted to point that out, that we've got a deficit to make up on 17 because of going in this direction. Okay, I yield.
Well, you all wanted me to show my view of what I wanted the map to look like? Or, okay, I'll just pass and you guys can finish it.
Commissioner Curry, I'm sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear you.
I said I'll pass and you guys can finish it.
Okay, I mean, it's your turn, so.
I thought it was.
Yes, so it was just a mere, Commissioner Clark just made a suggestion. You don't have to take that suggestion.
No, honey, I know it was just a suggestion, but I thought that we all were putting in our suggestions and then somebody wanted to go back over and redo it. That's fine, but I wanted to kind of finish looking at what it would look like if I made it that way.
Okay, you can do that.
You know, but if it's something you all don't want to deal with, then I can pass on it.
Vice Chair Zatella.
I would like to see what you have in mind for a district, so please finish, Juanita.
Thank you.
And just to be clear, as I stated before, Commissioner Curry prefers if suggestions are made after. But I would implore us just to take your turn, and maybe those suggestions could be expressed in the turn that you take.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Now, can you kind of bring it in some with the Kent that's doing this for Kim?
This is Kent.
Can you
Oh.
bring it in a little bit so I can see the larger portion of it? I want it kind of smaller so I can see what the map looks like.
See more of the map?
She wants you to zoom out so she can see the shape of Detroit.
Is that better? Commissioner Curry, I could overlay aerial photography if it would help identify areas.
I can see Detroit, I can see Highland Park, Hamtramck. I think the lady previously said she wanted Grosse Pointe to be in the downriver area or somewhere near Detroit.
Grosio.
I just want to see what it looks like if you color it in all purple, the colors that I'm calling out. And then if it doesn't look right to me, I'll change it.
So Kent, what I'm hearing Commissioner Curry say is the areas that she's mentioning, can you just fill those in with purple? And you don't have to ask her, is she sure those are the areas that she's asking, and she will make adjustments after.
So you want him to bring it all the way up to Grosse Point, is that correct?
Commissioner Curry, this is Kent. I just need to be specifically told what to assign. I don't want to be responsible for assigning it.
I'm asking, I've been asking from Git if you do Detroit in purple.
Yes, ma'am.
Looks like it's still being yellow. I guess it can't go purple.
Yes, ma'am.
It takes a second, Commissioner Curry, for the colors to change.
I'm doing it a piece at a time just to see what these numbers are. Commissioner Carey, we need 76,000 more people.
Okay. So you guys put Dearborn with Taylor, which is so far. Taylor is nowhere near Dearborn. Do Dearborn Heights and Dearborn.
Okay. District 15 that you see in purple is now 24% high, or 64,000 too many people.
Okay.
We need to.
Take that off. And let's go with Allen Park. Really don't want Allen Park. That's right.
I agree, Commissioner Curry. I don't think Allen Park should go in there either. I agree.
Take Allen Park out.
Why?
I agree with the community that we created before, the district that we created before, the Allen Park, Lincoln Park.
I didn't hear you all earlier, so I'm just wondering why.
Right, so the blue is the area, there's an area that is shaded darker to the left of the purple. That is a district that says 19, it's already been created. And then right below that kind of brownish, darkish shape, there's this kind of light color. That was District 17. You have drawn an area 15, this kind of purple area that's overlaying and then shifting up the shore north.
I have not really finished drawing yet. I'm trying to see what it looks like in my mind.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And what, I'm not saying that's my final thought on it. I'm just trying to see what it looks like, because where I'm sitting at now, I'm surrounded by Allen Park, Dearborn, Lincoln Park, River Rouge, Ecorse, even Wyandotte. So I'm just trying to see how it would look on the map.
I totally understand. I was just making sure you can see what's on the map, because I know some areas you can't. Okay.
I can see all of it now.
Okay, you see the brown, you see the blue, you see 19, 17, and 15.
Dearborn Heights and the brown.
Okay, rock and roll. Take your turn. Yep, you got it. You got it.
Southgate, Wyandotte, Riverview, and Brownston. I see that in the light blue. And Grosse Point, Grossville. I see that. Okay. So take off Lincoln Park, Melverdale, and Allen Park.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, it's unassigned.
And it really looks like it's
District 15 is 98,995 people short of the ideal district number.
how many?
98,995.
So is this, Highland Park? Let me see a portion of Highland Park and Hamtramck.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't hear all of that.
Highland Park and Hamtramck.
Allen Park?
I believe she said Highland Park and Hamtramck.
She did. It's
which is to the north.
to the, yeah,
Highland Park.
straight in the center.
Yes,
next to-
I
yep,
see it now.
yep,
I'm sorry.
those two.
Okay.
What's the population total when you finish?
We're now at 70,000 and we would need to make this district contiguous. That's in separate pieces. So we could join this.
Would you please?
Yes.
Commissioner Lang.
I'm sorry, Juanita, are you talking by phone? And if so, is there a way you can talk more directly into it? ASL and myself are having a hard time hearing.
I am bending over, talking into my computer.
Okay.
And that's, I can't get any closer. I'll be kissing the screen.
Commissioner Curry, we're at 43,912 people short of what is considered the ideal district number.
Okay, now can you make it smaller so I can see the map? Please.
Commissioner Curry, this is my last bug. This is Commissioner Kellum. Can you try holding the phone in your hand so that the speaker is next to your mouth? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
My computer is working now.
Okay. Okay.
The phone has been off for the last 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Are we at the right scale, Commissioner Curry, for you to see what you need?
Kind of looks like it. Can you make it a little bit, bring it in a little bit more? No, we'll bring it out. Seems like it should be brought in though. Drink it some more. Okay, what is, so 17 was already you all had 17 already made up, is that right?
Yes, 17 and 19 were already completed. And now 17 has an unassigned area, but that it's still your turn. So it's up to you whether you want to fill it back in. He can easily restore 17.
I'm just trying to figure out why would you all put Taylor with Detroit? They're not near each other.
We put Taylor, Dearborn, and Dearborn Heights together because of what the communities in Dearborn and Dearborn Heights expressed. And then in terms of my knowledge, I don't see Taylor fitting with I wouldn't put Taylor with Romulus, and I definitely wouldn't put it with Lincoln Park and Melvindale, but there were other commissioners. Pardon me?
It doesn't go with Dearborn. Taylor's far. We're right across the street from Dearborn. Detroit is. But Taylor is way out.
So Detroit is, we're across the street from lots of places, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those people in those communities, if that would best be suited for a district.
I live in Detroit. I'm only speaking for my community. I don't know what I have heard what the people said, but I'm trying to do what's right with Detroit because I am a part of Detroit too. And I'm going to pass right now. I'm sure.
Okay, Commissioner Curry, can you provide some justifications for Michigan Department of State for District 15?
Yes, because you guys I've already designed it the way you guys want it, so I'm good with it.
Commissioner Ede, are you ready to take your turn?
Yes, I am. Just do my glasses. So are we, we have like we have differing districts now. So I think it would be appropriate to have both of them saved. So we have all of the ideas archived somewhere. So let's do that first, just to make sure we don't lose what we had previously and make sure we don't lose what Commissioner Curry just did. And then we can go from there.
You could lose what I just did because it's not enough, the population is not even enough to even make up for Detroit.
It's okay, Commissioner Curry. If
Detroit design is Detroit is totally by itself, more or less.
Okay, Commissioner E is choosing to have a copy of your work and everyone else's, so he's going to keep the copy and then he's going to continue to make his additions, so it'll be fine.
Yes, sir. Just give me 1 minute.
You don't even have to keep a copy of my work because it's not completed.
Commissioner Eads, this is a copy.
Okay, originally I was going to try to examine if there was a way Taylor could be incorporated into a downriver community, because I believe there's a lot of evidence that Taylor is at least a little bit more of a downriver-ish community than it is with Dearborn. But considering our time restraints that we have today and the fact that I'd like to, get a whole map done as soon as possible, I'll instead go to my hometown of Orchard Lake and go from there.
All right. Where is that?
It is, so if you go to a little northwest, back to the suburbs. Yeah, right over there. You're right in the middle of it.
Orchard Lake, I remember.
Yep,
yes.
right
okay.
there.
This will be District 14.
Sure.
And we have townships up.
Yes, so let's take West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, I'm sorry, my screen just froze for a second.
Okay.
Kego Harbor. Yep, you got it. Wonderful. All of Commerce Township to the left.
Commerce to the left.
Bloomfield Hills. But not Wixom and not Wild Lake, who I believe are more closely associated with Novi, Farmington and Farmington Hills.
I would agree.
Moline.
Oh,
okay,
sorry.
where are we going? Farmington Hills?
No. So we're going to the right. We're going to Bloomfield and Bloomfield Hills. And then so we have just that top township of Southfield right there, not the entire, you see how there's two Southfields, just that part. And then the right of it, Royal Oak.
To the right, is that what you?
Yes, you see Royal Oak towards the bottom right. Yep, right there.
All of Royal Oak?
All of Royal Oak. And where does that leave us on population?
27,712 people short, which is approximately 10.4%.
Well, what I would like to do is, and how I originally had thought of this district was including Birmingham. I know Commissioner Clark just had Birmingham being with Troy, but I'm wondering if we put it with West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, Bloomfield Hills, we can then probably include just a little bit more of Sterling Heights along with Troy, and it might work. So let's go ahead and assign Birmingham to this district as well.
Berkeley would also work with Royal Oak because it's so very close to Royal Oak. I can bike and walk.
All right, let's try with Berkeley then. Then you want to change the other one.
Okay, you're going to be about 10,000 over
Commissioner Curry.
with Birmingham and Berkeley.
Commissioner Curry, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Absolutely. This is the clearest you've ever sounded. Yes.
Okay, good. I'm sorry that I didn't have the mute off. But anyhow, you all were talking about how close Berkeley is to whatever. What is it, Berkeley to Royal Oak? That's what
Yes.
that's the only thing I was saying about Detroit. It's sitting right next to Lincoln Park, Allen Park, River Rouge, Ecorse. And to break all those up, you're doing a disservice to Detroit and Lincoln Park, Allen Park. Allen Park and Lincoln Park are just about half the ratio for the black and whites are half and half just about now. And then you got the what's those people called that wear the black? What are they? But anyhow, I'm just saying when you leave Detroit kind of by itself, you're taking away everything that's right across the street from Detroit. You can walk. I can walk across the street, be in Allen Park, Lincoln Park, Dearborn, all those stations, all those townships. I could be in them in a matter of minutes.
Commissioner Curry, I see what you're saying. I just, and I don't want to take away too much from Commissioner Eads' turn, but to lump those communities in with the greater city of Detroit, it would do a disservice, in my opinion, to those smaller downriver communities.
But that's only you. That's not how we feel. We shop, we service one another.
Oh no, I know that. I have family in the downriver area. I just okay.
Well, I've been there 70 years, so been there all my life.
Okay, Commissioner E, did you hear Commissioner Curry's considerations? You're more than welcome to continue with your turn, Commissioner E.
Yeah, I think both opinions are valid, warranted opinions, and we might just have two different ideas that we debate later, which is why I put the clone out there so both are saved. We can debate them later. As far as this district goes, let's actually take out Berkeley since we're overpopulation now. I see Berkeley as more so, and as one of the public commenters said today, Berkeley is more associated with Huntington Woods, Oak Park, Ferndale, Hazel Park, and Lathrop Village and the rest of Southfield. So that leaves this district at what, about
5,899 under.
It's about 2%.
2.22.
Yeah, I'd like to leave it as this, and I understand that we're gonna have to adjust the other districts around it based on, these changes, especially removing Commerce from the other district and removing Birmingham from the Troy district. But I'd like my fellow commissioners to recall our Novi public hearing. Speaker number 42 was a young man who had, a very robust public comment to us that day. I think it was one of the most robust that day. It was a young man who brought a big sign and was really speaking on, the fact that in this 10 years ago, West Bloomfield was split from Orchard Lake as a community. He then went and posted that on our public comment tool, and it is public comment number F1523, submitted on July 18th, 2020. And it's actually, I think it has the most comments on his comment of any piece of public comment we've had so far. His rationale was for a House district, but I think the same rationale could be made for a Senate district of this type. What we have here is a very diverse district in a multitude of facets. We have, I think most importantly, cultural diversity. This is an area that has many Chaldeans, has many Jewish people. There's also a lot of Black people and a lot of Asian people and a lot of white people. It's truly an inclusive community. And I made a lot of friends there of all races and ethnicities growing up. It has cultural centers such as the only Holocaust museum in the area. It has the only Chaldean Heritage Museum in the whole world, as far as I know. I don't even think there's one in Iraq, but there's one in West Bloomfield.
And there's one in Dearborn.
There is all the people in this district are serviced by the West Bloomfield School District, as far out to Commerce and as far down to Royal Oak. They all use West Bloomfield schools. It's kind of funny, the school district, the school is located in West Bloomfield, but it used to be called Orchard Lake Middle School. They since combined it with Abbott Middle School to make West Bloomfield Middle School. But when I went there, it was called Orchard Lake Middle School, even though it was located in West Bloomfield. And I think a factor that I also think should be considered is different socioeconomical statuses of the people in these communities. They're certainly all at least at middle class, but you have different levels of it. You know, you have Royal Oak, Sylvan Lake, and Commerce, which are, you know, middle class to upper middle class. You have Orchard Lake and West Bloomfield, which are easily upper middle class. And then you have Bloomfield Hills, Birmingham, and Bloomfield, which are upper class. So I really think it encompasses pretty much everything that we're supposed to encompass going forward. And yeah, I think that's why I drew it this way.
Commissioner Clark.
Yeah, well, let me make a couple comments on this, Anthony. I got no problem with you moving Birmingham over there. I mean, Birmingham's linked to Troy, just like it's linked to Bloomfield. So it's kind of a flip of a coin on that. But so you've taken population from the district. I put together 16. Can we take a look at, as part of what you're doing, Anthony, take a look at adding the other another row of townships out of Sterling Heights to see if we can get the population matched appropriately in that district?
I think that's appropriate. That would be the way I would go about it. But since I completed drawing a district, I don't know if it's still my turn, but if, you know, I'll defer to the chair and to the rules for that.
Is there something in your district that you wanted to change, Anthony?
What we wanted to change, Brittany, is adding onto 16, District 16, another row of townships in Sterling Heights, because he took population away when he moved Birmingham over to his district.
Okay, that change would be up to Commissioner Ede, and if so, he can make that change and then provide.
So what I'm asking of Commissioner Ede is that he continue on to try to make that district whole as well.
Yeah, I think add more of Sterling Heights into 16 until we get okay with population. I think the rationale is exactly the same as when you made District 16. Because of that, you see the dots that we have there. They're displayed on the board, and are those still dots of Asian American ancestry?
Yes, sir. The Asian, over 10% Asian, Hispanic, right here it says population total Asian. And we can click on each one and you'll see it's highlighting, but let me change it.
Yeah, I would add as many of those dotted precincts as possible until we get to the population needed for that Troy-based district.
Yeah, and I think by doing that, that also further supports what Bruce's comments previously when we talked about that.
Commissioner Needs, are you requesting I assign those voting precincts to 16?
Yes.
Don't you think you ought to keep Berkeley with Orchard Lake, Anthony?
Excuse me, 16, District 16 now is 0.25% over, 654 people with a minority population of 28.36%.
Wonderful. To answer Commissioner Curry's question, I wouldn't put Berkeley with it because that would put us over population. And I see Berkeley as being more associated with Southfield, Huntington, really more so Huntington Woods, Oak Park, Pleasant Ridge, Ferndale, and Hazel Park than it is with Orchard Lake. I mean, I never I'd gone to Royal Oak growing up many, many times. There's a lot of activities for, all types of people to do out there, and people travel to Royal Oak frequently via Woodward.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Ede. The next commissioner is Commissioner Kellum, myself. I'm waiting for Kent to get a swig of water. You deserve some water.
Okay, Chair.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Commissioner Orton. She was before me. Commissioner Orton, you have the floor.
Well, I just want to say, I don't really like the idea of that when it gets to a commissioner, that's their district. We're supposed to be doing this together.
Yeah.
And I think we should each be able to have input. Some people like to have the input after, I guess, but I think we should each be able to have input and put it together, because if we do it this way where each person owns their district, then when we get to the next person and they change the other person's district, we have to start all over again. It just doesn't seem like it's very efficient.
I agree.
Commissioner Orton, I echo that. I've expressed that before, that we should not be taking turns, or if you want to have our quote unquote ownership, meaning you have more, I guess more of a demonstrative turn, that's up to the commissioner. But I would think that it would fare better not to put Commissioner Curry on the spot, but there was some confusion and it was left up to her. And I feel like we should have chimed in and maybe added some assistance to that. So I can only say that I agree. But at the same time, if there's a commissioner that does not have something to say, we also don't want to be forced to speak either. Commissioner Villette?
I just wanted to ask Commissioner Ede, you said that you took Commerce because its school district was the same as Orchard Lake?
I don't believe, hello? Is this thing, there we go.
Yeah, you just gotta speak louder.
Yeah, there are certainly many students in commerce that go to West
There's
Bloomfield
two
schools.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know if it has it might, I don't think it has its own school district. Wixom does. But I'm not sure if there's a commerce school district, but I mean, the similarities between commerce and West Bloomfield and Orchard Lake, given that we need population, because you can't just have it be on its own because we're working on a Senate district. I think they should go together.
Okay, well, Commerce actually has two school districts, Walled Lake Schools and Huron Valley Schools, which is also Milford and Highland. And White Lake has Huron Valley Schools also. So I really don't understand why you took Commerce out. Because now 18 lacks almost 50,000 people.
I wasn't, I think Commissioner Ede is pretty satisfied with what he's drawn. So yeah, Commissioner Curry.
Yeah, I just kind of think that I didn't do it, but it appears that way, that we're saying this is, when we talk about the different townships and districts and whatever, we're saying, I'm only going by what I know. And then when what it appears to be now, from what I know from living in Detroit, is that Dearborn, all those little towns, Allen Park, Lincoln Park, all those places at one time were very prejudiced. And I thought we were trying to keep things where they were more contiguous, or do we want to keep everything prejudiced? Because that's what I was trying to do. Not that I thought that just trying to add all those people would make everybody happy. It just seems like when I go down my street, I'm seeing every kind of color. Everything, all kind of mixed people. But the way it looked like it's going is that look like you all trying to keep whites in white neighborhood, the Chaldeans in one neighborhood, or are we going to be kind of where we, kind of share the growth, the wealth, everything? I don't know.
So Commissioner Curry, I completely hear you. If I was looking at what was drawn, like what you drew for Detroit, I actually had some thoughts about integrating Ferndale with Detroit with some suburbs. You can get a mix of resources, but there's such a stretched out area of 15 now. So I have to kind of think about
You all can
where would be
dissect
a
15. You can do whatever y'all can dissect.
No, we have a copy of
Because I
it.
didn't
It's
finish
fine.
it.
So I
didn't
just
finish it because I was getting so many, and probably because I wasn't there earlier or yesterday. But I'm under the impression that people were saying when we went to these meetings that they wanted to be more into who all were in there. Like, for instance, you know, you got Chaldeans in Detroit shopping and going places, but Detroiters really not participating in the Chaldeans thing. And so you got in Dearborn Heights, I know they're all kind of set to themselves, and you got different places like Lincoln Park. It used to be all one culture, one minority, one. They were all just about white people. And in River Rouge and Ecorse and Detroit, they're mostly all Black people. So I'm under the impression that people wanted to kind of be mixed a little bit, since all these places are just a step over into another. When you could step over into Lincoln Park, you could step over into Belvedere, you can step over into Allen Park, you could step over in River Rouge, you can almost step over to Wyandotte or Southgate, you got to drive a little ways, and Taylor. But all those places are contiguous to me because I see everybody in all those areas, and I just didn't want to separate them. But if you all thought they should be separated, that's just not my opinion.
No, I respect your opinion. I think we just continue to take turns and get public feedback, and we continue to draft and remix and redo and erase and fill back in as we get feedback. But we have to start somewhere. So I'm gonna attempt to take my turn. Kent, so we've made a copy. Was there another question that I missed? Yes. Commissioner Orton, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You can have your turn, but I just wanted to add something. I feel like we're having a couple different conversations here, but to what I was saying, maybe we can just keep in mind that we're making a collaborative map so we can work together. But if any commissioner has a strong opinion or a better idea, they can make their own and present it. And we can also discuss that one and present it, or, decide whether to present it.
Thank you, Commissioner Orton. Okay. Can you go down a little bit, Kent, so I can see the map? Let's see what's happening here. No, zoom back in. Okay. Okay, I'm stuck because I'm thinking of two things, but I don't know how complicated one is going to be. Like we have a copy of 15, but if we were to just remove that altogether, so I can just have a fresh look at what that area is.
Yes, ma'am.
And then can you zoom all the way in so I can see like streets, and because unfortunately in Detroit, like the neighborhood that I grew up, Sherwood Forest is not going to be on this map. Green Acres, Palmer Park, like those are the things that I'm looking for as cues so that I can work with that. Commissioner Clark, please.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question of Bruce. I'm looking at what we've got for Detroit at this point, and it appears to me as we're headed down the path of packing Detroit again with what's left. Do you see that as a potential issue? And if you do, how do we avoid that?
Well, I appreciate your question, Commissioner Clark, and based on the conversation we had last week, your understanding of the racial bloc voting and packing districts and how problematic that could be. I remember that one of the issues that Dr. Hanley discussed last week is looking at other areas that are the areas that are packed, going into different areas to unpack them. And of course, those areas are at your discretion and as you consider moving. But I'm not drawing any early conclusion about packing because it's too early. And if you went down that path, I assure you, I would let you know, and we would both let you know. But what I would suggest is that I believe that some of the districts that Dr. Hanley outlined last week were to the northeast in Detroit, looking where you can expand so that, for example, you're not just using Black population to achieve the population goal of one person, one vote, that you go into other areas, as you're doing now as you're exploring these districts, so that you unpack what has been packed.
Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome.
And so this goes a little bit smoother. I'm going to delegate Vice Chair Zatella for hands so that I can take a genuine turn. But Commissioner Curry, I do see that you have your hand raised. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Commissioner Curry, it doesn't look like you have sound, so okay, okay. You have to unmute yourself. Okay, if you want to share, just unmute yourself, and then we'll be able to hear you. Okay, Commissioner Curry, just stick your hand back up if you have something, and then Vice Chair Zatella will acknowledge you. So can you fill the areas back in for 17 that were already assigned?
I'll do the best I can to recall what it was.
I think it was Lincoln Park, Allen Park, E-Course, and Wyandotte. Commissioners, please do chime in and let me know if I am incorrect. Or either affirm with the audible yes, so that. Commissioner Witches.
I think that's the one I drew.
Yeah.
So Melvin Darrell, River Rouge, Allen Park, E-Course, Lincoln Park, all the way down to the border, and in that little section that's jutting out on the precinct level.
Does that appear to be what we had previously?
Should be 789 off of ideal.
Right. That's where we're at, 789.
Okay.
We do have to go to blocks here and grab this block so that we pick up this island. Could I do that?
Please do that, Kent.
It's slow when we're using blocks because you have to be zoomed in so far.
It's okay.
But it's the nature of it. I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, can we go towards Ferndale? So zoom in. I realize that you're not from this area, so it doesn't resonate in your brain the same. I know, go
Southeast and
north a
west.
little, north, and go towards the east.
Ferndale.
Okay, so yeah, let's select, let's see what happens.
Sorry. Whoa, I'll be back. I'll be back. Well, this thing, you click on one spot and it takes off. So
This is a challenging thing to work with.
District 13.
Okay, I want to select Ferndale and Royal Oak and Pleasant Ridge and Huntington Woods. Huntington Woods and Pleasant Ridge. And I want to, can you zoom in some more? I need to have a different view of Detroit in order to try and.
I can bring streets up, see if we can.
Commissioner Rothman, because I can't see you all and take a turn, please do feel free to tap the mic and say chair and kind of do prompt me to call on you.
There, because we're in the Southfield, there was the LGBT community request to keep Southfield, Oak Park, Huntington Woods, Ferndale, and Hazel Park together if possible.
Yeah, so I'm going to pinch off some of Southfield and I'm going to put some Detroit in there. That's kind of what I would like to do here.
Hazel Park, Berkeley.
Actually, that area by Woodlawn Cemetery, can you select that?
Woodlawn Cemetery.
When you zoom back in. Yep.
I see it now. This area in here.
Can you zoom in even more?
Yes. Pembroke.
Okay, yeah.
7 Mile. Assign this area.
Zoom in even more, please. So that area, please select.
Select this area.
The area to the left as well. The area below that says 143 to the right in that greenish area, yes?
I'm selecting whole precincts.
Okay, zoom back out, because what do we need?
You still need 200,000.
Okay, zoom out, please. Can you fill in that gap and go to the left?
This area here that I'm across like this?
Yes, please.
Not like that?
Oh.
Let's do precincts.
Tisk can't.
I'm sorry. Shoot me. That area?
Yes, but can we go back to the street view so that, oh, not the matrix, I feel like. Just, okay.
These precinct names take up, kind of blur things up.
And zoom out again.
To have aerial photography.
Maybe, you can try, zoom out again.
Let's just turn it on and see if it's better or worse. I don't know.
And Commissioner Rothman, you said, someone said Southfield, Oak Park, and what, give me the, can you? Oh, you could have read it to me. So you can select Southfield and see what happens. But I got that weird shape going down there, but I'm thinking I want to fill in more, but I want to Southfield. Yes, I'm thinking about it because Southfield should maybe also go with Rosedale Park, but yeah, Southfield, please.
This whole area?
Yes.
We can always back out.
Well, we're gonna have to, because I'm trying to, I'm trying to find all these neighborhoods and communities.
And that leaves Berkeley on its own.
I know, just go ahead and select it. I don't want to put Berkeley, but that's fine.
Grab Berkeley area.
And how much are we short still? 195?
We're adding 95,000 to it.
Okay.
So you're short 100,000.
Okay, now come lower and let me see what's in this oblong rectangle. Yeah, that area. Can we zoom in there? I might need to.
Let me turn off the precincts because I think the precincts are what's. Mary Grove College.
Yes. Try selecting that area 63911. Well, not that. I'm sorry. That's I read the wrong number.
This area along in here.
Clarita, Margarita, Pittsburgh. You can't see those streets.
I see Clarita right there.
Yes. That to the right. That area and to the right. And I want to see about University of Detroit.
Is that representative, Commissioner?
Yep, can you call on them for me? Commissioner Clark?
Yeah, just a quick question, Brittany. Is your intent to stay west of Woodward as you do this? Or is that's just the way it's gone so far?
That's the way it's going, but I'm playing around with it. Why? Say more, Commissioner
I
Clark?
just wondered what the intent was. Okay, thanks.
And it's difficult because when you're from an area, some of the things that I'm looking for are not just, they're just not there on the map.
That's St. Mark.
I don't want to go that's too far left. Can you go down, please? What is that little? To the west, what is that? 1203, 1612. Can we zoom in there, please?
This is the Northwest Activity Series, Myers Plaza Co-op Apartments.
And then?
Elementary School, Lewis College of Business.
And that's Schultz. Yep. And then is that Mumford High School? What is that? It looks like a track and a football field. Can we zoom in?
But that's already in the district.
Yeah, I just want to know what that is.
DPS Mumford.
It is
High
Mumford.
School.
Okay.
Yes.
And then go east. Let me see what's over there.
This is McDougal Hardware. Crown.
Northeast, like to the edge of the assigned area, so I can see what's just to the right of it, please. And go north.
This is the Payless Shoes, PNC Bank, SDS Vision.
Oh, select that. That's Meyer gas station. Yes,
Yes.
that area. Yes.
I'm doing this whole precinct at a time. If that's not right, just say so and we'll.
Oh, I will. You're fine. It's better for you to chunk it this way because I wouldn't be able to make it through the other ones. Commissioners, please chime in if you see something, and you can select that as well. These, what was that? 745, 797. Commissioner E, please.
So that's just a very interesting intersection, the one of 8 Mile and Woodward, because that I'm sure you know this, but when you cross that intersection, that's when the cities of Southfield and Detroit really start differing. This is a personal anecdote, but at the Meyer on that corner, there's often a lot of people who suffer from homelessness at that corner, and they're always on one side because that city doesn't evict them like on the other side. So I do think that would be an appropriate place to maybe stop that district like you were doing. So I agree.
Same. And I wanted to include some Ferndale in there to build community, and also because Ferndale, Royal Oak, those areas are walkable, they bleed into each other. And there is a historic, if we think about even the riots in Detroit, and that there is still a median going down 8 Mile and Woodward that still are the physical representations of that racial discrimination of different communities. That's my thinking when I look into that. But I do see this kind of weird unassigned area. What is that, Morass? If I'm looking correctly. And shape, no.
This is Cumberland Manor Apartments, Palmer Park.
Okay, you can select that.
Excuse me?
You can select that, please.
Okay.
No,
I'm getting there.
You're trying to have people step on my toes. I know.
No, that's not going to happen. These are fairly low populated voting.
Nothing over there. So let's
834 people here.
Commissioner Rothorn.
Because you just added the Palmer Park area, that was another LGBTQ potential residential COI, and the Hazel Park was, I think, I don't know if you intentionally didn't include it, but it was just, that was the last piece that was sort of.
Hazel Park is fine. It's not intentional. It's just that I'm trying to keep track and see. So yes, I appreciate it. Wasn't intentional. Mr. Adelson.
Excuse me, thank you. I wanted to point out that in Dr. Hanley's study, she identified packing in a handful of Senate districts. They're not as significant and numerically as in the House, but she did suggest, and this is something I'm sure we'll be talking about, the percentages are smaller so that if, for example, in a 54% the current district, a majority Black district, that she concluded that Black voters could elect their candidates of choice at under 50%, and there's a fair amount of crossover voting in Wayne County. So I think that that's something also to keep in mind. And that also, in a way, I wanted to respond further to Commissioner Clark, if that's okay. If you look at Dr. Handley's map, which is the last slide in our PowerPoint, she identifies three districts that are House districts that are 90% or so Black population. And you're not in that part of the county yet. So that's a good kind of marker. Yeah. When you get there, that's right.
For the purposes of the public, I was doing a happy dance, but you all can't see that.
Too bad, because it was a great dance. But that's an area where, in responding to Commissioner Clark, you could look at. So one of the suggestions that I would have as the commission moves forward with this particular district is think about the potentially lowering the Black population to be closer to what Dr. Handley concluded.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we still need some more population, a little bit more, right? Commissioner Rothorn, please. Hazel Park. I'm sorry, I thought he selected that. Oh no, it's dangling right there.
Excuse me, Commissioner. It's on Hazel Park area?
Yes, please select that.
I'm sorry.
And then I wonder if I
all those precincts.
And still not much.
And is that the Hazel Park that you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, that's 15,000 people.
Okay, and so we should probably go, what's just west to the side of what I've assigned? Outer Drive, that area can be included. Maybe even that little. So left of the area that is, so go south.
This area? This area.
Look up over here.
Yep, I got you. So you want me to select all those? That continue. You down the highway, Route 10 or whatever,
Yep, you can select that.
this area right here.
Yes, please.
That is 17,500. You're going to be approximately 48,000 short.
You can go on the other side of the James Cousins or the Lodge Freeway and select
This area,
that squarish, what is that, a right, the triangle that wants to be a triangle, but it's missing the tip. Yes, that area to the left of the freeway. Nope, not below.
I got you. I'm
Oh,
catching up.
wait,
I'm catching up.
though.
I'm catching up. This area. On up through here.
Actually, go back to this area, the Mary Grove College area, and select that and to the right.
That's University of Detroit.
Yep, that's intentional. Select the area to the left of Mary Grove College as well.
This goes all the way down across.
Why? That's interesting.
That's these are precincts I'm highlighting. So if we need to go in and remove census blocks, you can't do that.
And then select that missing area.
So this is just, now if we need to go in and cut out census blocks, we can do that.
Okay.
It's just a little bit quicker to do most of them.
Okay, zoom all the way into the freeway. I might leave this because I feel like I don't want to chew too much into, I can't see the way that I want to.
So this is south of 10, and these are the census blocks that are associated with these precincts north of them.
Okay, so then that little piece is like the outlier?
Yes.
That should probably be removed.
Take those, unassign those?
Mm-hmm, and then the piece that kind of goes around the bend up towards, yep.
Yes, I will have to just go through these one at a time, pretty much.
Actually, you need to keep that. You need to keep that. Because that would be slicing through a community.
Excuse me?
You can remove it. Go ahead and remove it, please.
I did.
Okay. It's delayed on my end. Sorry.
Well, no. I just, I had it highlighted and it was kind of like when I let go of the button, it was going to do it.
Okay. I'm going to stop there for my turn, actually.
You're still 35,000 people short, 13.5%.
No. And go. Can you zoom in to the area that's to the right of University of Detroit Mercy?
Yes, ma'am.
I think you're going to end up selecting that.
There's a Magnet Middle School, Florence, Grove.
Yeah, you have to select all of that.
Not that. Shall we continue south?
Zoom in, please. Yes. You can select that, the 932.
Select that, yes.
The 1133, and then that little area above.
Those precincts crossed over the Route 10 or Highway 10.
Take out 932.
Take out the entire precinct or just these census blocks?
That one, that's census block. Thank you for correcting me.
You still need 31,000 people.
Perfect. DPS Robeson Academy. Let me zoom back in. Zoom in, please. So that area that is DPS Robeson, that neighborhood. You can select I'm just going by what I can read. The Citgo gas station, the school, the streets that are around that, neighboring that area. So probably assigning the areas that you probably just took out, honestly.
I'll just put it back and then you can reevaluate. That's the entire precinct.
But I just need that block. So from block 8, block 35, 37, 36, 13. Is there a way to not take in that whole area and make it over?
Sure. So you want to remove these?
Am I over or under?
No, you still have 30,000 people.
All right, so then select 3253. I'm reading the blocks.
Where are we at? Up here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This whole area down through here? Shall we just take it down to the commercial
That's
area?
fine. And then you can do the area to the left.
I'm just getting the little unpopulated blocks up next to the highway so you didn't have little holes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we going to the left now? Is that what I heard you
Yes.
say? This area?
Yes.
Let me get it to precincts.
662 and 546, those numbers. Yep, that one too.
This one up
Yep.
here, 1197.
Mhm. And then the one to the left. Yep,
This. We just removed these earlier, but
I know.
that's okay.
That's
Oh,
what I
no,
said.
I just, you know,
If I say it with a smile, maybe you won't be as angry.
1069 here. This is Linden Street,
You're
Detroit
learning
Terminal.
Detroit. Yep. Zoom in, please. Okay, and go to the left. Or go west.
This is the play field, Butzel ball field.
Oh, buddy, oh, buddy. 1443, that little chunk that includes Butzel. And then zoom in so I can see 1458. They probably won't.
Warehouse, Roman Stoneworks.
Okay, yeah,
Linden,
that one and the one above and the one above that.
this whole area.
Let me see though.
Yeah.
Zoom out, please, Kent.
Okay.
Take away those little oblong pieces to the left.
Take out these
That one, yep.
pieces here.
Mhm.
You still have 24,000 people to add.
Jesus. Okay.
You still want me to take them out or?
No. Zoom out.
I want,
please.
yes, I'll get a bigger vision. This is,
Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna stop. I know that I have a difference of about 24,000 people, but I want to stop because I want to come up for air and see what I have. My intent was to take in consideration the patterns of the smaller suburbs that bleed into the city of Detroit, as well as the communities that surround the areas regarding 8 Mile and Woodward, and to also incorporate the comments from the public hearing and the COIs, our analysis of that data for those LGBTQ communities, African-American communities, the suburban communities of Pleasant Ridge, Ferndale, and Royal Oak that express some commonalities and keeping them together. So those would be my justifications for drawing District 13 this way. And commissioners, please do weigh in, even if you're not from the city of Detroit. I'm not in love with it, but it's a starting point. It represents a direction. Commissioner Rathborn, please.
So my question is, do you see sort of like, so there was one of the ways that we want to make sure that there's not as much African-American packed into any district. And so with this one, do you see also sort of a logic, so to speak? Like, should we continue, like there's spokes in Detroit. So does it make sense to try to sort of, yeah, Woodward, east and west, right? And just continue up the spokes? Is that sort of a?
Yes, it does make sense, but I grew tired of drawing. So I took a siesta of my turn.
Thank you. I just wanted to understand it.
Okay.
Commissioner Orton.
Commissioner Orton, please.
Could we take a 5-minute break and then maybe we can finish that one when we come back?
Sure. But don't put the pressure all on me, just saying that. So we will take a 5-minute recess. That means we'll come back at, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Lang, please forgive me.
I'm concerned with taking a 5-minute break when we've got like 49 minutes left of the meeting. Does it seem appropriate to take a break at this stage in the meeting when our concern is getting maps done? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if that's what the commission wants, but I mean, we're so far in and almost at the end, it just seems counterproductive.
Thank you, Commissioner Lang. I personally have to go to the restroom, and I'm saying something like that.
It's very hot in here and I just need to step outside for a little bit.
Okay, so we can take just 5 minutes and we'll return at 7:16 exactly. So that's all you get is 5 minutes. Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission back to order. Excuse me, at 7:19 PM. Will Michigan Department of State staff please call the roll?
Absolutely, Madam Chair. Commissioners, please stay present when I call your name. If you are attending the meeting remotely, please announce during roll call that you are attending remotely and disclose your physical location. I will start with Doug Clark.
Present.
Juanita Curry. Commissioner Curry, I believe you're still muted. Can you unmute?
Yes, present, and I am from Detroit, Michigan, remotely from Detroit, Michigan.
Thank you. Anthony Eid. Brittany Kellum.
Present.
Rhonda Lang.
Present and attending remotely from Reed City, Michigan.
Steve Lett.
Present.
Cynthia Orton.
Present.
MC Rothorn.
Present.
Rebecca Satella.
Present.
Janice Follett.
Present.
Aaron Wagner. Richard Weiss.
Present.
Dustin Witches.
Present.
12 commissioners are present and there is a quorum.
Thank you, Michigan Department of State. We will continue our draft mapping, please excuse me, of our Senate maps in Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, Saginaw, and Genesee counties. We left off with myself, Commissioner Kellum, and I'm going to continue my turn.
Commissioner, I'm prepared, ready.
Yep, that was me taking time to think. Can you
Okay.
try filling in that left side just above Redford?
Just above
Mhm.
this area in here.
Yes.
Is that approximately what you expected?
Yeah, I meant the entire left side.
Yeah.
All the way,
All of that,
I'm gonna
yeah.
highlight it
Yeah.
and you tell me what to change.
Thank you, Commissioner Curry. I see you shaking your head. This whole strip too, so it's not a jigsaw, like just fill in that area?
I'd like to bring your attention that you're 53,000 people high
Oh, okay.
now.
There is a delay.
Yes.
Chip up. So where it says Redford Township, let's erase that.
Understand this area?
Yes, I have to remember to use my words because I'm using hand motions that mean nothing for this mapping software. So yes, the word is erase.
I just want everybody to understand what we're doing.
Okay.
You're still 40,000 high. It appears like, yeah. This.
Commissioner Curry, please.
Yeah, can you take off some of that cemetery part down there and kind of keep this block, this whole long block together for her? Because I'm kind of familiar with that area.
Thank you, Commissioner Curry. And Kent, that's okay.
This area here is what, understand this?
No, this is it. Oh, okay.
Brittany? I'm
Brittany,
sorry.
are you talking about
Commissioner
over to the
Kellum?
right, some at where it's kind of jig-jag?
Yes, that little part that juts out the bottom, is that where you're talking about removing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that piece on the other side of the freeway, to the south of the freeway, it looks like, but I don't know if that's a freeway. Hold on.
That's
Grand Lawn Cemetery. You can take that off almost.
I agree.
Understand this?
Yes.
No, sorry.
And that little part that looks like a tooth.
Right here.
Grand Lawn Cemetery, you can erase.
All right.
With Redford, yeah.
Including this area here.
Yes.
I got one too many census blocks.
It's okay.
I'll
And
put-
Commissioner Curry, would you also say that part that is jutting out south of
Grove.
McNichols? Yeah, take that part out as well, right?
That area?
Yes.
Is that West McNichols? That's where my building is. But yeah, you could, yeah, you got it. It looks all right now.
I'm still over 38,000 folks.
Wow, wow. And you, what about this bottom line here? Outer Drive West and up under 7 Mile.
Yes, and the little jigsaw piece. Can we examine what that is too?
Unassigned
Yeah,
in this
that's-
area?
Yes.
Yeah, you can
Yep.
take that off.
Continue.
Yes.
Do you intend to continue across this way?
Yes.
And what would your rationale be, Commissioner Curry? Why would you take that part off? What do you think?
Because I think on the other side of John Lodge, they're all contiguous. They're really kind of knitted together and they all have a lot of things in common.
By 6
Communities
Mile
of
Lodge.
interest. Yeah.
Yep, I used to, I grew up over there, so.
Unassigned this region?
Can you zoom in, please?
Well, that got unassigned. We'll put it back to it.
It might be okay that it's unassigned, honestly.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, you can unassign
Take
that.
that up.
Now, these census blocks here belong in precincts on the other side of the road.
Yep, we're gonna keep those together. And I think we're keeping this section together. But we're still over 33,000, so we'll go to the west, maybe.
Move westward?
Go to the south. Can you go to the south?
You mean that 511 and 932, you'd remove those? Because I was looking at that. And 1133, would you take that out too? Okay, same page.
Yeah.
So yep, let's remove 1133, 932, and 511. Thank you, commissioners, for being patient.
This area is part of this precinct. Shall I leave it like this or put these census blocks back into 13?
Say it again, Kent, please.
The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 census blocks that are not assigned right now are part of this precinct. Shall I assign these census blocks to District 13?
I don't know if I want to. Yes.
Yeah, you could change them. Because they're all on the right side.
Might have just to go with my original shape.
31,000 over.
Over?
What is that little right, that like triangular piece to the far, well?
Going south, take it off near Highland
Wait a
Park.
minute.
You're saying take this area off?
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Collins?
I wouldn't remove Mary Grove College and University of Detroit, Mercy. No.
Right.
I wouldn't.
Is this all under here, the other part of Livernois? That's separate from, like this side is like, is this line here Livernois? The
Can you
street?
zoom in, please? Can you zoom in, please?
Let me change so it's more legible. That's John Lodge, Puritan, Memorial, McNichols. Where am I going?
Maybe if you can get that bottom part off, Brittany.
Of Livernois?
Yeah, right down here. How much would that be? where it says John Lodge Freeway and Midland and Pilgrim.
So the piece is just south.
Yeah,
Where my cursor is dragging
Yes.
across?
yes.
Okay.
Did they give you your population?
It had very little effect. There are only, a few dozen people in each of those blocks.
Can you zoom out, please, Ben?
Route 5 right across here.
Okay, and zoom into that area that is the far
This
west, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah, that's assigned.
like that area in
Yeah,
here.
like you have by West 7 Mile, that might,
That's 7 Mile. Yeah, West 7 Mile here. And then this, I can't read it. Still can't read it. That's Fargo, St. Martin.
You take that
Vassar.
off, yeah.
Redford is included. Can you take off Redford 49504?
That's the township.
Oh, Redford.
Yeah, and
but
we're not. We've already split in the township. I'll go back to precincts. So this is 2,600, 708. That's if you take the whole precincts out, which run all the way up to 190, whatever, too.
Say that again. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. This is 2,659, 708, 2,093.
Yeah, I would take Redford Township out though.
Yeah. The entire township.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then.
Yeah, that's that section right up in there. So we'll do that.
Yep.
Mm.
$23,000 over.
Still open.
Okay. I'm going to leave that here for right now, and with the hope that someone will. It will be changed. We'll go back.
Zoom in where?
I said I'm going to leave it as is. Yeah, I'm going to leave this where it is for right now. I have some ideas of maybe where I would take things, but for the essence of time, I'm going to stop my turn. Michigan Department of State, do you need any more justification than what I provided?
Yes, I'm just going to go through just a few questions. Can you explain why this district took the shape that it did?
It took the interesting shape that it did to account for the feedback that we received in our COI analysis, public hearings, as well as the parameters that we have for our active matrix.
Can you just be a little bit more specific about like what public feedback or what COIs, for example?
Yes, as I've said before, there is a lot of talk about the communities of Ferndale, Royal Oak, Pleasant Ridge, being walkable epicenters, art communities, LGBTQIA community friendly, and those folks that shared their opinions also expressed wanting to not only be together, but also be with the Southfield community. And these neighborhoods also so very closely border Detroit, and there would be some nexus between those spaces and communities.
Thank you. And this last question is a bit of a two-parter.
Mm-hmm.
How did you consider minority populations in this area? And did you consider if this district is considered packed?
Well, we heard from our good friend Bruce Adelson, who provided some guidance, things to be careful of, and this was not an area as drafted that at present should cause for great concern. And what was the first part? I think I answered one part, but I didn't get the first part of your question.
Question was, how did you consider minority populations in this area? And did you consider if this district is packed?
Right. So the minority populations, we use the data as expressed. And those populations also expressed by those that share comments from the residents that live in the area. And then we asked Mr. Adelson if this is an area of concern for packing. The next commissioner would be Commissioner Lang.
Okay, I'm gonna have Kent, if you would please zoom out for me, and I want to pick up all of Canton to the south.
Right above the green. Yep.
I see it now. Thank you. That's 12. Let me change that color so it doesn't blend so much with the adjoining districts. One moment.
While he's doing that, commissioners, I am not familiar with Detroit. The farthest I've been is Livonia. So I will welcome input as I go. If something I'm doing doesn't look right, let me know. And Dustin, I see your hand already.
And mine.
Oh, sorry, Juanita.
Commissioner Witches.
I was just gonna point out that with Canton, Westland is pretty much a neighboring city that would go well with Canton, which is directly off to the right.
Okay, let's try Westland then.
And Vice Chair Zatella.
Yeah, I would actually say Plymouth is more closely aligned with Canton. They share a school district. The Plymouth Canton School District is one of the largest school districts in the state.
Can we try Plymouth up there too? Does it kind of see what the numbers equal? I'm seeing we're probably in a corner with.
It'll fit. So with including Plymouth and the town of Plymouth, both Plymouths, you still have 48,806 people to add your low.
Put Wayne in it.
I should point out Garden City and Inkster at this point are isolated
Yes.
from any other district. We can remove or add or.
Can anybody tell me how does Garden City, would they kind of associate with Westland?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, can you add Garden City?
Now you're 16,000 under, and Inkster is 26,088.
Yes. And then if you would go in a little bit closer to the, I guess we're going to have to go by the block level.
You want to take a part of Inkster or remove, or what are we doing here?
I'm going to remove just a bit of Westland. I'm thinking, I see a road there heading north and south.
This is, we have precincts.
Okay.
This is a precinct right here, and I'm just going to unsign it. We can put it back.
Yes, that's fine.
That's an entire precinct. And now your district is 19,000 low.
Okay.
Rhonda, the city of Wayne is just south of Westland. That might be a good thing to add in.
Okay, go ahead and add Wayne then.
And Wayne and Westland share a school district. So you would be putting their school districts together too, Wayne, Westland.
At this point, District 12 is 0.84% low.
Okay, my question would, okay, let's leave it there for just a second. My question would be to the commissioners that are familiar with the area. Does Inkster, because I've heard that there's a high African-American population, would that correlate with Romulus or something, knowing that that would have to go down? Does this district look cohesive to you?
Commissioner Curry.
Rhonda, I would, Westland and Inkster people kind of have some contiguous things together. They have some communities of interest together. Even Wayne, I mean, when I go through Inkster, sometimes I wind up in Westland. And so I think all of them would be somewhat contiguous if you added Inkster, but that's too much to add all of it, but probably do some blocks.
Okay.
Vice Chair Zatola.
So I would say there's two ways you could go with this, either of which is acceptable. You could leave it as it is, or you could peel off Wayne Westland and combine Wayne Westland, Garden City, Inkster, and Romulus together, because they all have Garden City, not as much, but Wayne definitely has a fairly significant African-American population, as does Westland. And then you could combine Plymouth and Canton up into Northville, which are also similar communities. So you can kind of leave it as is, or you could reassemble things, but either way, I think it works.
Okay, I don't want to
agree.
pack either. So that's always our concern, is I want to make sure that we're not packing any district, as has been talked about. So for this time being, unless any other commissioners have thoughts, I think I'll leave it the way it is.
And Commissioner Lane, can you just provide your rationale?
Well, a lot of input from other commissioners. Thank you. They're telling me that these areas closely associate with each other. Canton, I did because of public comment. Everybody, I'm sure, remembers the gentleman that gave public comment about hashtag keep Canton whole for the Asian American population. So they're not split up. And that's pretty much my explanation.
And how did you account for population in this area? And go ahead, Commissioner Lane.
How did I account for population as far as?
I'm trying to ask you the questions because I know Sarah's going to ask you the 3 questions regardless. I'm trying to help you out.
Population wise, I mean, if we're looking at population based off from VRA, we have our Asian population. Again, like I said, we had comment about them specifically wanting to keep Canton whole, so their vote is not split up. The others were on advice from other commissioners because they're familiar with the area and said that shared school districts and contiguous and all of that. I don't know if I can give a good explanation. So if another commissioner wants to help me, I'd take it.
You're on the right road.
Sure.
You want to add anything, Juanita, to help me out?
I think you did a good job. The only thing that, well, I think you did a good job considering you couldn't go up and grab that to make it, because you're what, 19 short? 9? What is your short, Kent?
12 is 2,200 from a deal, which is only 0.84%. Pretty much numbers on.
Commissioner Lane.
Could I point out one thing? And that is this area is unassigned. The districts surrounding it have been built. This is not enough population to build a Senate district. So significant changes are going to happen around it.
Okay. Should we do those changes right now? I'm just now I'm looking at that too now and didn't realize. So can I get the commission's Van Buren Belleville? Does that have we received? I don't recall any public comment about those. And do they have anything that you know of where, oh Lord, I don't know what to do. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that Romulus and Belleville, they have a big skating ring that they share that's very COI. They have that in common because we went to both of them and we used to skate with both of them all the time. But I don't know about Van Buren, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Kent, can we take off Westland and Wayne?
Vice Chair Zatella.
Yeah, I was going to say I used to live in Van Buren Township, and we have received some public commentary from Van Buren Township, but I'll tell you honestly, I don't agree with it in the slightest, having lived there. I was actually sort of surprised at what was being asserted because they were saying that Van Buren should go with Sumter, whereas Sumter is very rural and Van Buren certainly is not by any stretch of the imagination. But I would say you certainly could combine Van Buren, Romulus, and Ypsilanti, honestly. I think those would all go together well. They're all on the 94 corridor. They all share, I can't remember what they call it, but it's like the industrial parkway where you have Willow Run and the Visteon plant and all sorts of industry along there, along with some steel mills on the river. So those three counties could certainly go together.
Okay.
And you could also pull that up into Wayne Westland as well and Inkster.
Okay. That was a lot to take in, Rebecca. Let me start with, go ahead and pick Van Buren and Belleville.
You gotta take Romulus and
You need approximately 94,000 to reach ideal.
You can do like Romulus, Wayne, Westland, Inkster, Garden City.
Sumter. Probably Sumter.
But
That is 42,000. That'll put you about 52,000 under.
And what happens if she grabs Westland too? Where does Westland put her?
Westland is 85,000. This is 26,000. We can include that. You know, maybe you could take these precincts to tie it all together.
What about the ones to the east, like the Superior, the ones that don't have a lot of population? Any thoughts on those? Salem, Superior?
Not familiar.
I don't know if I would put Salem in there, but
Yeah, I mean, it's so Northville, I would say yes. Superior is sort of interesting because they're in between Ann Arbor and Canton. But they are kind of anti-subdivision, anti-new development, so they're very rural. So it's sort of interesting. I mean, I certainly think you could put them in if you need the population, but they're kind of different in a way. But I'd say in 10 years, they may not be so different because the reality is the pressure of development is pushing that way.
Okay, let's take Northville. Let's head north from Plymouth.
You want to keep Romulus and Wayne in this group?
You can keep it there for the moment. I kind of want to see what we can get with the Northville added in.
and then Commissioner Curry.
Oh, Commissioner Orton.
Yeah, I was thinking, is it my time to talk?
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking, I know I have a family in Ypsilanti, Belleville, Inkster, and they're kind of little shots right away from each other. I don't know if you could keep Ypsilanti with that too, Rhonda, I don't know. But I know they're all close. Those neighboring townships or cities, they're close. Ypsilanti, Belleville, and Romulus are very close with Wayne.
Okay. I don't want to take Ypsilanti out at the moment though, because that's a number 27 and we can revisit that one.
Commissioner. I was going to. Commissioner Orton and Commissioner Witches. I was also trying not to interrupt Commissioner Lang in the middle of her sentence, you all.
So I really feel that Northville goes with Novi.
Where are we at here?
And then Commissioner Witches.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Northville and Novi are,
So Commissioner Lang, maybe try Superior then.
I'm not.
No, but I think she should.
Yeah,
No,
Superior.
yeah, Superior.
Yeah, put in Superior. That would be my recommendation.
If you want.
Okay. Let Northville off because I'm hearing that that would go more with Novi.
Commissioner Lang, may I point out, it was mentioned earlier about the Asian population in Canton.
Correct.
Northville is 18%, or it's the township. Yeah, Northville is 18% Asian. I just noticed that. So that's
Okay.
at Superior.
Add Superior.
And then Commissioner Orton.
I think that there's probably also a large Asian community or population in Novi area. So if we look more into that.
So you want me to take it north again to Novi?
No, I'm just saying, I don't think you will be able to do that, but I do think that Northfield definitely goes with Novi. And if we save all that area to be together, that'll be a large Asian population.
Commissioner Orton, that's a good point.
Okay, can we take,
Are
I thought I was gonna breeze right through you guys.
And just also flagging that we were supposed to stop this process by 7:45. I don't know if this is still a hard stop, if I can get a nod or a wink from someone that we.
Well, let's finish.
So Commissioner Orton, are you suggesting that she include Northville and Novi in this one district, or are you saying break off Northville?
I'm saying don't use Northville.
Don't use the Northville.
Just because we wouldn't be able to add Novi and Farmington Hills.
It appears to me that there's two parts to the Northville town.
There are, yeah.
The lower southern half is assigned, the northern half is not.
Part of it's in Wayne County, part of it's in Oakland County. That's what you're seeing there.
So right now it is split.
Commissioner Witches, thank you for raising your hand.
Oh, yeah. Northville and Novi should be together, but they should not be together with Van Buren Township. I don't believe that is a fair assessment of a district that should be, that they should be a part of. Superior Township would make more sense in my opinion. Also having lived right around the area.
Superior would make more sense with Canton?
With Canton. Yeah.
Okay, let's add Superior, and I guess we're taking off Northville.
Okay, you have 0.97% low with that. I'll remove Northville now. Now you're approximately 37,000 people low.
Okay, can we take Salem?
Now you're 30,000 low.
Could she add in that Inkster and that little sliver of Wayne? Would that bring her up?
Inkster is 26,000. The green number you see underneath the total pop is the Black population or Black alone.
Yeah, it's almost, I think it's like 80% African American.
Commissioner Lang, I'm waiting for your direction.
I understand. You know what? I want to try something completely different, and let's go up north one more over what we just, whoops, the map moved. I can't see where I want to go. By the South Lyon area, is that two different townships areas? I see one that has like 23.
It's a city and a township around it. And it's also one of the most rapidly growing new subdivision areas. So it would be a good match for Canton for sure. As well as Salem. But you'd probably have to take off part of I think you have Wayne still. I think you'd probably have to take that off to add South Lyon.
Okay, let's add that whole thing there if we can and see where the numbers are. And if we have to take off part down below, we will.
You'll be
And I
about
apologize
4,000
for
high.
running into another color.
You're at 1.85%.
Let's keep it there for the moment. You may want to change the color too, because I see the one above by Kent Lake is the same. color.
Yes.
That's good.
Mhm. Commissioner Lang, you're getting lots of accolades. Vice Chair Stella said she thinks that's good, and I said,
Commissioner Orton.
Yep, Commissioner Orton.
Any other Detroit area people think it's okay?
Well,
I know
I
we have a
really-
few.
I really think that South Lyon and Lyon Township also go with Novi. I mean, we're gonna have to make a compromise somewhere, but that's why it wasn't used in the District 31, because it
Get away
really
with
associates
that.
with Novi.
And it not appear a deal breaker.
Well, for the moment, I'm going to leave it. And then if commissioners want to change it, I'm fine with that. Also, like I said, I'm not super familiar, so I'm just taking input from everybody that is from around the area to kind of help guide me. So for now, I'm going to leave it. And if somebody chooses to change, I understand.
Thank you, Commissioner Lang. I think you did a wonderful job, even to back up Commissioner Orton's place or a point. We'll have to do some fixing somewhere, but I think what you've left with Wixom, Northville, Redford, Inkster, all of that, that's workable. It's not like it's a horrible choice left to work with. So I think you did a good job. Commissioner Ede?
Never mind, I'm good.
Okay, Commissioner, Kent, please.
Yes. I quickly did a little check plan for errors. There are some discontiguities. They're small and have minor or no population changes. I just want to point that out. At some point, they need to be cleaned up. I don't think there's any hurry to do it at the moment, since we're looking at mostly zero population. Maybe before we start tomorrow, we can clean these up, or Monday.
I was going to say, Kent, you're going to be here tomorrow?
No.
Okay, commissioners, we are at the stop of our process. And that would bring us to number 6 on the agenda, which is new business. And there's no new business for the commission's consideration at this time. Moving down to review and approval of minutes. There are no minutes to approve. And then we move to number 8, staff reports. We don't have any staff reports for today. Is there a Michigan Department of State report?
No updates.
We have no updates from the Michigan Department of State. Correspondence was received in advance of our meeting today and was provided along with the written public comments to the commission in our meeting materials. It's also my understanding that there are no future agenda items to share at this time. So do we have any announcements for the good of the order? Hearing none, seeing no hands. There are no more items on the agenda to complete, and the commission has no further business. A motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Witches. Is there a second? Second made by Commissioner Lett and Commissioner Curry. I see your hand. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, please raise your hand and say nay. The ayes have it, and the meeting is adjourned at 7:57 p.m. Thank you.